It's delivery day, boys. We got us a starter for the 24 valve Cummins sitting at the house waiting for us right now, and one other package that I will show you as soon as we pull in the driveway here in a minute or two. So I will catch up with you in just a sec. Here we go, boys. We are back to the house. Got our two packages. The white box is our starter. The little brown box is something else that we got from XDP. We will open that towards the end of the video, and you can find out what that is and what we will be getting into over the weekend with those parts in the brown box. However, I wanted to tell you guys that the starter I actually ordered right off Amazon, and I'm going to link it up down below. I found a company online that had a relatively decent price on a new starter for our trucks, and it sure as hell beat spending $200-300 on a starter. So I looked on Amazon just to see if they had anything, and sure enough, this company actually had their starter on Amazon. So I got lucky and was able to buy it off of there and have it overnight shipped for free because I'm a Prime member. So if anyone is in the position of needing a new starter for their second gen Cummins, I suggest looking on Amazon because you can get a good price for one, and if you're a Prime member, you'll have it the next day. Make sure you stick around towards the end of the video because that is when I will show you the contents of that little brown box, and once you see what is inside of there, you'll have a better understanding as to what else we are going to get into this weekend. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video on Pure Panorama. So there is your first look at the brand new starter for the 24 valve Cummins. We are actually going to just jump right into it and start to get the old one out and then look to get this one put in right now. Before we get into it, I got to remind you to follow me on Instagram at Pure Panorama19, and also check out those links in the video description. We have tools, parts, Amsoil products, oil filters, fuel additives. All those links give you guys good parts for your truck at no extra cost to you, and also help the channel keep bringing you content. Now let's talk about this starter really quick before I roll under the truck and get covered in grease. This starter is from a company called DB Electrical. I found these guys online a while back when we did the initial starter rebuild back in January on the 24 valve, and I thought about ordering a starter from them at that point in time because they have good prices on their starters, and I believe the thing was like 95 bucks, but back then I thought it might be a little bit better of an idea to actually just gut the current starter that is on the truck and then do a rebuild and show you guys the rebuild process. So that's the route that I chose to go. I know there's tons of other options out there for starters, and to be quite honest with you guys, if I weren't in the process of trying to sell the truck, I would have gone with a different starter. Most likely we would have went with something like a mean green, or we would have got one right from XDP. They do have gear reduction starters available for like high $200s to $300 range, and those prices are coming from XDP's website. You can also find the mean green starter and alternator from other places online too. This DB Electrical starter is a straight OEM replacement starter. It's right up to spec with the OEM Denso starters that come from the factory on these trucks, and it looks to be pretty nice quality, as you guys could all see from that first B-roll clip, and it's half the cost. Now let's get under the truck and pull out this old one. And we have the old starter out, and wow guys, every time it is always that top bolt. And by the way, you do need a 10mm 12-point socket or wrench. If you have a longer 10mm 12-point wrench, then that's going to be your best bet, your easiest way of getting that top bolt out of there. The way that I just did it, I actually laid right across the top of the engine up in the engine bay, and I was able to get a breaker bar with a 10mm 12-point socket and get just enough upward force on it by pulling up to bust that bolt free. Once all the bolts are broken free, you can obviously just work them out with your fingers. Make sure you got a good firm grip on this bad boy, because once you pull that last bolt out, if it drops down out of there, it's definitely gonna leave a big old dent in your dome. Take a look at how old and just worn this thing is looking. Yeah, it's got some good contacts and a new plunger in it, but the brushes, the armature, all that crap, that is probably long past its life expectancy. And then these two studs right here, even though this one was just new in January, this one right here is definitely no bueno. Look at this thing just wiggling. I couldn't even put an 8mm socket on there to break the nut free off of it. I had to clip the wire and then put a new end on the wire so that we could attach it to our new starter. And one last thing I want to point out on this old starter are the teeth on this gear right here. They're a little chewed up, man. Missing the ends of them. They're all bent and just deformed. So this thing, it's probably best that I got the new one, and maybe I should have did that back in January, but like I said, I thought it would be good to just kind of show the rebuild process of a starter, so at least we got those videos out there, or that video out there for you guys to see in case you maybe don't need to go the route of a new starter. But for 95 bucks, it might just be easier to drop the old one and then throw a new one up in there rather than gut the old one and put in new parts and then put that back. I am currently running out of daylight right now though, so what I need to do is get back underneath the truck, get this new starter mounted up into place, and then we'll close out the video. And tomorrow I will show you how everything is, how it's working, and give you kind of an update as far as what the new starter is doing for the truck. Woo, baby, we got it all done. The new starter is in, the old one sitting right here next to me on the tailgate, and like I already showed you with the side-by-side comparison, this old starter right here just was definitely in need of replacement. So in the last video I told you how I wasn't able to pull out a couple of screws. So I wasn't able to get those screws out because whatever knucklehead had the starter out previously before I did and rebuilt it way back whenever, they stripped out one of the Phillips head screws in the end here, and that's why I couldn't get it out. So the best that I could do back then in January was just contacts and a plunger, and like I said, I ordered that stuff from Geno's garage. But you can basically find them anywhere. Another good spot to order contacts, plunger, or a full rebuild kit with the brushes and all is from Larry B's, and I will link that website up down below in the video description, and I'll also have a link to this brand new starter. If anyone needs a starter and you don't want to spend 300 bucks, 200 something bucks on one, then definitely check out the one that I picked up for 95 bucks, and if you're an Amazon Prime member, get it shipped to you overnight. We should be in great shape now. Hopefully that new starter will kick the truck over and fire it up nice and quick like it should, and with any luck our slow cranking issue will be gone and the truck will fire up nice and fast like it always did. Now remember, we still have plenty more to do this weekend. I am going to be underneath the hood doing some stuff, taking the valve cover off and some things around that area, and well, we got another box inside the garage too that I need to show you the contents of, so why don't we go grab that real quick and I'll show you what we got. And here's our last box from XDP, Extreme Diesel Power, and well, it's a small one, as you can see. We have a high flow banjo bolt from Torque Tech, and I'm not really 100% certain as to why I got this because I don't really need it. I don't have a use for it at the moment, but we got it anyways, and we'll just put it in the toolbox for another time, I guess. And then yeah, we got this little bundle of joy, and I'm sure you guys all know what that is just from looking at it, but for anyone who's new here and may not know too much about these trucks as of just yet, this little container right here would be an injector reseal kit. So you have your 6 copper washers to put around the nozzle and seal up the nozzle. You have the bigger brown O-rings in there for the injector bodies, and then you have those smaller little O-rings for your connector tubes. And yes, that is what we will be getting into tomorrow. We are going to pull the injectors out of the truck so that we can just reseal them, put fresh O-rings on them, and go through and clean them all up. And while we're out here working tomorrow trying to get the injectors out so that we can clean them all up and reseal the connector tubes and the injector bodies, put the new copper washers in, we are expecting another delivery with another small part that we are going to replace in the fuel system. But we will go over that once we get it. It is something that is kind of crucial and that you should probably check from time to time and can also cause a few issues, but once we get that, we will go over it and I will show you exactly what we're talking about. As for now, I'm going to close this video off. Got the new starter in. That's good. Hopefully the truck fires up and does what it's supposed to do. Fires up quick like it always did. We're not going to find out in this video, unfortunately, because I'm running out of daylight and I have a huge mess to pick up and I still also need to eat dinner. So we will check maybe in tomorrow's video, or we'll do a video the day after on Sunday and we will check in that video and see how the new starter is performing. I'm going to give you guys info on the rock light giveaway in the next video also, so make sure you guys are staying tuned for that. And then in like a week or so, we'll be announcing another relatively large giveaway, the biggest giveaway that I have done yet on the channel. So make sure that you are tuning in and not missing out so that you can get entered into these giveaways and have a shot at winning something. If you're new here, then hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a new upload. You can get entered into the giveaways. Hit that thumbs up button if you're pumped for having some new parts on the truck and doing some work here, giving you guys that type of content. If you're angry in general, then double tap that thumbs down. Don't forget to check out the links down below in the video description. Get yourself some good stuff for your truck at no extra cost to you and help the channel bring you this type of content, and I will see you tomorrow with another new video, I think. Peace.